In this video, I'm going to share with you how to build this briefing agent, which you can prompt with a person or a company, and it will go ahead and scrape information from many different sources about them, and then go ahead and make you a really nice briefing, which you can use for context if you have a meeting with them in 30 minutes or something like that. If I now go ahead and type in brief me on jcuevas@cuevaslogistic.com, it will go ahead and understand that this is actually a business email, so you can get the domain and use that cuevaslogistic.com to scrape their website, and also actually get the email conversation with me and jcuevas@logistic.com, cuevaslogistic.com, and go ahead and actually give me a really nice briefing on that person. As you can see, it goes ahead and it finds a summary of the person, also the company, and also gives us some information about what we have been discussing in our email conversation. As you can see, lead generation and exploring automation tools, indicating interest in enhancing logistics efficiency, which is what we have been talking about. So that's really nice. But the thing is, if you have more data, like we have on person up here, Dwyer from Bright Data, what you can actually go ahead and do is you can do the same thing. You prompt it with that, and you will get a lot more data, because now that will actually go ahead and use the LinkedIn person scraper and LinkedIn company scraper to find their recent posts, and then give us also some information about the company. As you can see in here, we have a nice summary that Dwyer is a growth marketing manager at Bright Data, where your focus is on, etc., etc. And we also get a lot more data here when we use more information and give more information to the AI agent. And last thing we're going to do here is we're actually going to test this with very, very minimal information. As you can see here, we are now briefing on Bart from NA10, which is really limited data. We don't have a business email, we don't have a website, we don't have any LinkedIn URLs. So we'll then go ahead and do a Google search, which is like the last thing it will do if it doesn't have any more information. As you can see in here, we now also get a really nice briefing here on Bart, even though we didn't have that much information. Bart holds the position of Senior Community Manager at NA10, facilitating engagement with the users and driving the community's growth, etc., etc. So now I'm going to show you how to make this briefing agent step by step, so you can also make this yourself. So first of all, this is just for testing. Like, this is going to be called by another workflow, so you can just have this set up. I'm just setting here the chat input to query, so it will be the same JSON.query that we send to this information extractor right here, which his job is basically to find all the information from the query. So LinkedIn person URL, LinkedIn company URL, website URL, email, is business email, because we actually need to determine whether or not it is a business email, because then we can actually extract the domain from their business email and use that to scrape their website, person name, company name, etc. And I'll just tell it in here that it needs to do that, and also be really strict with it about the is business email for the system prompt. So for the next one, we actually just do a little if here, if it is a business email and we don't have the website URL, because many times we won't, we'll send this to a little code node here, which will basically only extract the website URL here, as you can see, from the email. So we'll just basically take this domain and set that as the website URL. So when we put this into our AI agent right here, it will either get the website URL from this if node with json.website URL right here, or that website URL will be set in here. So we'll anyways know what the website URL is. So all we're really doing inside of this AI agent node here is that we're actually just stringifying the message we get from the last output. And as you can see, it comes in a nice format here where we get both the email and the website. And we also get the LinkedIn URLs and stuff like that, the other information we have, if we have that available, and send that as the user prompt. And for the system prompt, this is quite long actually. I will go ahead and let you take some screenshots of this system prompt. So you can go ahead and send that to ChatGPT and ask it to write it out for you, so you can just have this prompt yourself. Basically what we're telling it in here is that there's a hierarchy to where it needs to find the information, because the best information is obviously on LinkedIn's and scraping the website, and also getting the email conversation, of course. But we don't want it to use the Google search if it has that information, because the Google search will be a less certain way of finding information about them, because it doesn't really know if it's the right person it's getting when it does the Google search, even though most of the times it is. So moving on, we are going to look at the different nodes here. First of all, we have a website text scraper, as you can see in here. Now, what this does is that it basically just goes ahead and scrapes the website. I'm going to show you the website scraper right here. What it does, it goes ahead and it does a GET request to that website URL, and it fetches all the HTML, and we convert that over to Markdown inside of here. And then what we do is we strip away all the non-text from the website. from the markdown, I should say. And then we send that back. So we get a little nice output. As you can see in here, we get this output, which we can send to the AI agent, which will use that for the briefing. And we also do inside of here, take the email conversation, which is super nice because that is most of the times you have had some email conversation with the people you want to be briefed on. And then what you can do is you can actually go ahead and fetch those conversations by using a simple filter by search here, and then just ask the AI to search with the person's email right here, as I've done right here. Also just set the resource to message and the operation to get many. And you can also limit it, now just limit it to 20, so you only get 20 emails or max 20 emails. And this is super nice context for the agent to have when it gives you that briefing. So moving on, we are going to look at the LinkedIn person scraper. Basically what we're doing in here is that we are using the scraping platform Apify to scrape the posts of the LinkedIn profile. If you don't know how to use Apify, I have a video on that. It is super simple. I've just used the LinkedIn profile post scraper right here. And I'm just setting the JSON body to the username as the LinkedIn URL. And I'm just explaining here what the LinkedIn URL is to the AI. So it actually can go ahead and place in the right LinkedIn URL, which it has from its context because we sent that through the information extractor. And the next node here is that we are using is LinkedIn post scraper. Same thing, we go through the LinkedIn of the company, LinkedIn company post scraper, what I meant to say. Same thing, we use the LinkedIn company posts, no cookies scraper, and we also set the LinkedIn URL here for the company name. And for the next one, we are actually using a Google search. So that's, as I said, last option if it doesn't have any of the other information. And we just use a SERP API scrape. You can just set up an account in SERP API and go ahead and add your credentials in here, your API key in here, and it will do a Google search